Hey everybody, welcome back to Slip on Home. My name is Melissa, and today let's talk about seeds. I've had many people ask, where can I get seeds? The short answer, I guess, is garden centers, nurseries, hardware stores, that sort of thing. Local to me, Vessi Seeds is they're in Prince Edward Island, and Halifax Seeds. Those seeds are fantastic, great value. I've never had any issues with those, so I can definitely recommend those two companies, and I can put their link down below. I'm not sure what their shipping times are. I placed an order for some onions and things, and I've yet to receive those, probably a couple weeks. So just realize that at this point in time, there's probably going to be a long wait for your things, but I know Vessi's for sure. The last time I checked, they were still shipping. Okay, so now you've got seeds in your hand. What do you do with them? There is a ton of information on the back of each seed packet, and it can be really overwhelming. It's going to tell you the seed depth on which to plant, and spacing, and row spacing, and days that it sprouts, and days to maturity, and what do all of these things mean. Before we even touch on that, let's talk about starting seeds inside versus outside. That information is usually on the package. So things like peppers, tomatoes, those are going to say start 8 weeks prior to your last frost date. Your last frost date you can find usually from your seed company, your local seed company. So things like peppers, tomatoes, eggplant, even some herbs, they are going to need to be started inside ahead of time. And it'll tell you on the package how far ahead. What can you start your seeds in? There are plenty of things, plenty of options out there. You can spend a small fortune on seed starting products, but don't feel that that's necessary. There are plenty of things just kicking around your house that you can use. I was digging in my pantry and found some styrofoam cups that we had from a party. And so you can use something like that, or red Solo cups. That's a great thing too. You could just poke a hole in the bottom. Those ones are nice because they're really deep, so that gives lots of room for roots. You can make paper pots, so using newspaper or even just loose leaf paper. You can make pots out of paper, toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, and now I know you all have toilet paper rolls. You can cut those in half. Then I usually make 4 slits in the roll and just bend those down, and so that'll help keep your dirt in the pot. So those are a great option, and things that you don't really have to spend any money on. Eggshells are another one that's really great. If you eat a lot of eggs, then you'll have some eggshells kicking around. Just save those, and just put your soil right in there. So soil, where do you get that? Again, garden centers, nurseries, hardware stores. Even noticed my grocery store the other day had some soil sitting outside. I would steer clear of starting my seeds in manure or compost, but you could pretty much use anything else that they have. Yeah, I think anything else would really work. We're not. The whole point is not to stress. Gardening isn't supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be fun. I don't think it's supposed to be expensive. I think that growing seeds and growing your own food is supposed to be cost effective. I mean, you want real food, you want good food, but you don't want to have to pay a fortune for it. At least I don't. And so you know, using what you have and using what's readily available, I honestly think is the best bet. All right, so you have your seeds, you have your seeds, you have your soil, you have your containers. How deep do you plant them? How many do you put in each cell or each pot or what have you? So usually the general rule of thumb is to plant a seed twice its depth. So I have some beans here, so I'll show you. A bean seed is a decent size, like this. So you're gonna poke that down into the soil, you know, twice that depth. So like maybe an inch or so. Just poke it down into the soil. A pepper seed, these are much smaller. So see, I'm not gonna take that out because I'm gonna drop it, but you see how tiny it is? So that doesn't really need much soil on top of it. So you could really just set that on the soil and then lightly cover it with more soil afterwards. You need to make sure that your seeds don't dry out. They can dry out fairly quickly, actually, especially if you're using a tiny little pot. So you just make sure that you add that to your daily routine, watering it on a daily basis. I usually make an effort of first thing in the morning when I get up and start my day, put my kettle on for my tea, and then I start watering my plants. And so I don't have to worry about those the rest of the day. It's kind of a hard habit to get into at first, at least it was for me, but just pick one time of your day and make a point to do it the same time every day, and then it'll be easier to remember. So you've got your seeds in the soil. Oh, and usually I would stick to 1, maybe 2 seeds per container. You don't want to overcrowd the container. The thing about starting seeds inside that you have to keep in mind is that they can very quickly get really tall and look very weak. This is because they're stretching to reach the light. Most houses don't have enough light to grow a healthy seedling without some sort of stretching. So again, you can spend all kinds of money on seeds, and grow lights are something that's available, but in my opinion, not entirely necessary. One thing that really helps strengthen a plant is a fan. So I have just a tiny little fan. I actually got it at the thrift store, and I have that in the bathroom with my plants. That's where my plant starts are. It's bright in there and kind of cool. It's not too warm, so they enjoy that spot. But I have this little fan, and I keep it just on low, and it just makes the plant shake, vibrate ever so slightly. And what that's doing is that it's causing the plant a little bit of stress, and so it doesn't like that shaking motion, and so it's going to sturdy itself up. It's going to create a healthier stalk on it, a healthier stem, so that it's not going to just stretch up for the light and then fall over and die, because that's really sad. All right, so how are we doing? I'm just trying to think what else I am missing. All right, so at the beginning of the video, I had mentioned sowing directly versus sowing things inside. So some plants are really fantastically easy. These are my favorite things because you can put them directly into the garden. Legumes are one that definitely fit that bill. So those are your beans, your peas. What else do I have here? Your corn, you can direct sow. And so essentially what that means is that when it comes to your last frost date, you take these seeds and you poke them into the ground, and that's it. I mean, that's not totally it, but that's as easy as it is to get the plant started. And you can help nature out a little bit, watering it every day, that sort of thing. But you don't have to worry about trying to make sure the stems are sturdy enough, trying to make sure they get enough light, that sort of thing. So if you're starting out, I mean, if you've already bought your seeds, then by all means, please give it a try. Please try growing them and having fun with it. Ones that you would start inside, but things like beans, squash is another one, cucumbers, melons, those things, they love to be just sown outside directly. You could start them inside, but you don't have to. They have plenty of time to take off and grow to a good size and produce a lot of fruit. So again, so those outside, twice the depth of the seed. So, you know, if you've got a seed that's 1 inch long, then you're going to shove that down into the soil 2 inches. That's a good way to remember. How far apart you put them, that information is almost always on the back of the package. If you ever have any questions or concerns about that, then please feel free to reach out and ask me those sorts of questions. I think really that's the most information or I guess that's the most information that I have, not that you would need, but the most information that I have for you right now. These are the things that I've kind of been thinking of the past few days. So again, if you have any questions or concerns at all, please feel free to reach out and ask. I really love gardening. I really think that it is fun and can really be great for stress relief. And you get outside in the sunshine and the fresh air, and you get to care for and nurture something. I think there's something very therapeutic about that. And I just wish that more people could experience that. And it seems as though that's kind of where we're headed at this point in time. So that's exciting for me. I really do like that part of it. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend with me. And I hope you get to enjoy some sunshine this week. Bye for now.